My name is Yuda Abitbol. Today we're going to be making Pepeiao wild mushroom gyozas. First ingredient you're going to need is wild mushrooms. Pepeiao, also known as wood ear. These are the mushrooms right here. I went a couple days ago. It's been rainy and sunny, perfect conditions for mushroom foraging here in the islands. And Hawaiian Pepeiao means ear. So if you look at it, it's just like an ear. And this is one of my favorite mushrooms, one of the most common ones that are edible that you'll find here in the islands. There's a couple different other ones that are edible, but they're really rare and not as prolific as this one. And this is something that Hawaiians used to eat back in the old days as well. That's why there's a name for it in Hawaiian. There's only one lookalike really, and that's the common polypore, which is that hard wood mushroom that you see a lot of. And in different stages of rot in the forest, it can look like this, but it's so hard and dense that you kind of can figure you're not supposed to eat it. It's not a poisonous mushroom, but it doesn't give you any health benefits, or you're definitely not gonna have, it's like eating a stone, you know? It's like, you're gonna see a huge difference. This has a texture, you can rip it, it's filled with water. It's its own texturally different mushroom. So the way that these mushrooms grow is they kind of grow on the bottom of, say this is the branch, the mushroom will grow like that. Always gills side down, so these are their gills. So once you know what it looks like and feels like, and you're in the forest, you can't really mistake it for anything else. So sustainable mushroom harvesting in Hawaii, I would say the biggest thing is not plucking them when they're too young, because if you come back in a day, it'll be like double the size. These grow really fast, and like they're really prevalent in certain forests. There's not really any way you can damage their populations by overpicking them. I pick the same mushroom logs for over 3 years. I'll just come at different intervals and pick them off, and then come back after a rain and a sun session, and I'll be able to harvest again. I froze these already. So by freezing them, you kill off a lot of bacteria, if there is any. And then second, it kills any kind of little bugs that are on there. So then after the freezing process, I'll take them and I'll put them in some boiling hot water, kind of give them a little blanch. And that's also to clean them and kill off any other bacteria or stuff that could be on there from the forest. So then once I throw them inside of the water, I usually let them bring up to a boil again, so about a minute. And once it hits that boiling point, I'm gonna take it inside, put it in a strainer, and then wash it out. Kind of go through it hand by hand, each mushroom, and wash out any kind of little dirt or leaves or anything that's in them. So take our pepe out, and it's nice and clean now, ready for use. And then what I'm gonna do is chop these up into little ribbons. So I don't wanna over chop it because you'll lose kind of the texture of it. It's kind of a very crunchy mushroom when you eat it. If you can't find wood ear, you can use portobellos, bella mushrooms. Any mushroom really works in this dish. It just won't have the same mana. There's a certain level of energy you get from eating food that you foraged yourself, you know? So when you get it into little bite-sized pieces like that. Basically, we're gonna put all of our chopped ingredients inside this bowl. And then once we have it all in there, we're gonna massage it with a little bit of Hawaiian sea salt and get all the excess moisture out. Okay, so we're gonna cut up our wonbok, or otherwise known as Napa cabbage. This is a really good cabbage. You can use either or cabbage, like regular kind, but this one definitely is the more choice one. So I'll kind of cut into squares first. So a great resource for buying local and using local ingredients from farms is FarmLink. They're an online service that you can order the ingredients directly to your home. And if you use your SNAP card, you get double bucks. So it makes your money go a lot further. And you're also supporting local farmers and craftsmen who make all kinds of yummy treats. You can cut it however you like, but as long as it's small and will fit inside of the dumpling gyoza wrapper. Once I get down to this kind of the core piece, I'll save this for ramen or other dishes, because it's better to use just the leaves on this part. So then just chop it up fine. Once I get it all chopped up, mix that in here too. For our next ingredient, it's gonna be an onion. So this is a Maui sweet onion, also available on Snap. And then I'll use about half of an onion, and we'll do a small dice on this. This is something that's famous in Hawaii, is the Maui sweet onion. They're really, really good. Doesn't have to be super fine dice. It can be like, just like this, small dice. You just want everything to be able to fit inside the gyoza wrapper without kind of cutting through it. The other ingredient is ginger. It's really nice to have some local ginger in here. I'm gonna go ahead and small dice this too. Okay, since you get your ginger nice and stacked, just run your knife over it. You could use a microplane too, but this is fine. So we can incorporate our ginger inside, and then just a little bit of garlic. So I'll take our garlic, add that. So we got ginger, onions, cabbage, mushrooms, and just for a little bit more oomph, basically, we'll add in these shimeji mushrooms. So these are something you can buy with Snap as well. Shimeji are a really cool cultivated Japanese mushroom. So I cut off the branch part over here. And then these can get kind of a little bit rough chopped. You don't want to go all the way into like dust. You want to kind of leave a little bit of structure so you know you're eating the mushroom. Next we'll throw in our cilantro. It's about a half a bunch right here. And kind of stop at the stems. Okay, and so we're going to give these ingredients a little bit of a salt massage. And that's to pull out the excess water. This coarse Hawaiian salt, this is Hana Pepe salt. I trade a guy out in the west side. His family is from Kauai and they have a salt bed there. So in Hawaii, those salt beds, you can't buy or sell the salt that's made there. They pump in water from the outside and then they put them into clay beds and then let the sun dry them, and they get this really, really awesome salt out of it. And it has kind of like a pink tinge to it. So we're gonna use this in our food today. I feel like salt is the most important ingredient when it comes to cooking. And I collect salt on different parts of the islands. I go to tide pools and get different flavors out of the salt, whether or not there's limu inside or different kinds of algae. It dries into the salt and gives it like really unique flavors. So once you get your salt incorporated, we're gonna go and just squeeze out everything. Once the cabbage really breaks down, that's when it releases its liquid. And you're just doing that so that it doesn't get the gyoza wrappers really wet and then it falls apart when you cook. So you want it to be a little bit dry when it goes in. It's not the most glamorous thing, but it changes the gyoza for sure. Now this is the fun part. So I have my gyoza mix right here. I've got my gyoza wrappers right here. A little bit of water to dip my fingers in when I need to. So first thing I'll do is I'll get my wet finger and then I'll kind of go over the edges on the side. It's almost like making a little taco or something. So kind of get this side all wet because we're going to use that water to pinch it all together. And then we'll take a little bit of gyoza. You don't want to overstuff the gyozas. Kind of stuff like that. And you fold it into a little taco shell. Push down with one finger. Start on one side. Pinch, fold. Pinch, fold. It's really important to get it all pinched together so it doesn't come open when we cook it. So then you pinch it all together after you folded it. And then now you have yourself a nice gyoza. Whenever I make gyozas, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of therapeutic, you know, it's you slow down and make each one by hand. It's really fun. And it's a good way to slow down and focus. So the filling that we made today, the portion size is around 30 gyozas. Today we're just gonna make 10. So what you do is you put these on a sheet tray and put them in the freezer. Once they're all frozen, you can put them in Ziploc bags. And kind of like how you use the frozen dumplings from the store, use them the same way. Pull them out and roast them and steam them. And these will last for like a year. You wanna be a little delicate when you're storing them though, because the tips will break off because they're frozen and a little fragile. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I have some sesame oil right here. You want to use a medium-high heat. You want it hot so it doesn't stick to the pan. Then once it's hot, Right now I'm ready to start throwing them in. I'll put them ribbon side down. So I like to put the ribbon side down first. That kind of locks it so it'll sear together and prevent it from opening up. And once I have that sear locked, then I'm gonna flip them over onto the other side. That's good right there, nice golden brown. And you see how it's like golden brown and crunchy like that? That's what you want. That's the sear lock. Because once you have this right here, this is what you want on the bottom. It's like a nice little fry on there, like little crispy action. And then once I have them all on the pinch side down, I add a little bit of water. And then close, and that's gonna do a quick steam. Okay, so it's been steaming for about 1 minute, so I'm gonna take the lid off, and that's perfect. Once all the water's evaporated, we'll go ahead and take our finished gyozas out. So once you pull them off and you get them plated up, this is something you wanna eat pretty quickly. I like gyozas nice and fresh. You can still a little bit of the crunchiness from the sear that we did in the sesame oil, and then the insides are all nice and warm. And then for our dipping sauce, we do about half and half for soy sauce and rice wine vinegar. And it gives it a really nice little tartness when you dip your gyozas inside. So this is our wild mushroom gyoza using Pepeiao, the wild mushrooms up in the mountains. Thank you guys for watching.